Hey, good morning, everybody. Hi, this is me, Darius Anucauskas from easyMarkets, and I hope you're all feeling fantastic. Today's Thursday. This is a quick video preview for the webinar, which is going to happen in a few seconds, where we're going to talk about indices, commodities, cryptos, and currencies, the usual stuff. We're going to pick up on some key economic data sets, which are coming out today, so not to miss out on. But yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy the session. Stick around, and we will start in a bit. Okay, hello and good morning, everybody. Hi, this is me, Darius Anucauskas from easyMarkets, and we are back to usual studio. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody. Hi, this is me. Today is Thursday. Yep, Thursday, the 27th of June, 2024. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this. Yes, this show, which we always do, this daily show, which we do every day. Look, I hope you find these sessions useful. I hope so. Really happy to see everybody tuning in. So yes, look, before we go into the charts, before we start analyzing all that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. Yeah, I'm just going to finish off doing a few things here. And yeah, we can continue. Okay, so also before we go any further, let's quickly just have a look at our website. Uh, Look, the reason I want to show you this because, of course, you can go and check out more information about us. That's for sure. That's the standard, the usual. But also, I thought that maybe this will be interesting for you. I mean, you can check it out. This Easy Markets AI thing, because everybody's kind of hyped about AI right now. So, look, we have this tool. I think that it could be useful. But if for everybody, of course, it's different. So check it out. Honestly, I believe this could give that extra information. Not saying that this is gonna, let's say, answer all your questions or anything like that. No, but the thing is that we're always looking for an extra tool that can help us out. So this is that extra tool, which honestly, feel free. It's free. Yep. Check it out, and yep. Hopefully you like it. But look, without further ado, let's jump into the charts. The first one to pick up here is Nikkei 225, and let's see what's happening here. Now, in general, everything's kind of seems to be fine still. Now, what's happening here is, oh, by the way, before I go any further, good morning, everyone in the chat room. So, hey, let me just be the first. Mohammed Hassan, you were the first one in the chat room there. Honestly, good morning to. I was like, good morning. No, good morning. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. So, I can see that in the chat, my good morning came second place. Anyway, okay. I'll try next time, maybe tomorrow, to see. Yes, whoever's tuning in right now as well. Yes, good morning. Just let me know if you're there. And yeah, so Mohammed, it's nice to see you here. So look, coming back to the situation with Nikkei. Now, mm, the problem that I have here is that we didn't stay above my 39,490 zone. That's a little bit disappointing. However, on the other side, I'm not really disappointed. Why? Because it seems like it's going to prove my theory once again, because when I keep on saying that whenever we break a trend line, we tend to revisit it from the other side. And this is the moment where it seems that we could go and test this broken downside line. And if it provides good support, a nice, beautiful rebound here could be possible. So basically, something like this. Now, of course, we're not rushing into things yet. Look, maybe this is going to happen, maybe not, but certainly as one of the ideas out there for you to look into. And yeah, let's see if that's going to work out. But for now, I'm cautiously bullish. I'm cautiously bullish, and as long as we stay above this downside line, yes, I'm going to continue targeting the upside. In terms of the downside, if we start falling back below this downside line, back below the 45, this 45-day EMA shown as the red line, then yes, yes, that's where more sellers here maybe could join in. So let's keep that in mind. Then once again, we could target this beautiful hurdle, which held the which acted as a good area of support recently. So once again, we could retest it, and that's the psychological 38,000 zone. And by the way, all my indices that I'm looking at the futures. So yes, maybe if you have a little bit of a different pricing, maybe you're looking at the cash. So yes, but look, it's similar, right? It's moving in a similar fashion. So so yeah. China 50, let's have a quick look at this one. A beautiful test of my territory, this 11,841 zone. Beautiful test, fantastic, good result, mission accomplished. Now, what's next? This arrow can go away, or actually we can reuse it to draw an upside arrow. Now, for the upside, I need to see a clearance of this downside line. Then, yes, then I'll get a little bit more excited with the higher levels and so on and so on. But at this point, I'm watching this carefully. Where's that highlighted zone? I'm watching this one very carefully. If that gets cleared, if this area gets cleared, this 11,841, then my next target is the 11,750 zone, somewhere around here-ish. But if that gets cleared, well, this is where the interesting bit comes in, because more sellers here could join in. At the moment, I think that this area will be a good one. It will provide good support, because basically we have potentially we have ourselves something like a head and shoulders pattern, which, you know, according to all the tier rules, tends to be a bearish indication. But it might not be the head and shoulders pattern if we don't form the right shoulder. And in this case, basically, we need a rebound. So that's why I'm kind of, you know, considering maybe some upside here at some point. I'm going to consider some upside as long as we continue to trade above the 11,840 zone, somewhere around here. Jumping into ASX 200. By the way, in terms of, let me just jump into economic calendar, by the way. Let me just see where is that product, economic calendar, economic, there we go. So, Monday, we had a busy day, but, well, actually, relatively busy day. Yeah, let me just scroll back into, yesterday we had some numbers from the US, but nothing major. Australia, yeah, yesterday, there we go. Thank you very much, the calendar, for reminding me. Yesterday, we had inflation numbers. We had inflation numbers from Australia, the 4.4% it came out at, higher than the previous, higher than the forecast. I mean, okay, so like that's not really good for the index, and you can see the weakness we saw here. We had and so far, and I mean, so good, kind of, in a way, for the bears. Look, what I can say here is that we are getting into a bit of a squeeze, to be honest, because look at this. We moved lower. We came very close to testing this upside line, taken from the low of the 19th of April, and we rebounded and pushed back up. So we actually had a strong move to the downside today. But as you can see, by the end of the session, ASX 200 recovered all that and just pushed nicely back above the 100-day EMA. So that's, I would say, that's a positive. You know, that's a positive, and that's this is something that the bears should worry about. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to get very comfortable with higher levels or anything like that. No, I'm just going to continue targeting this 7,800 zone on my ASX on the futures here. If that gets cleared, yes, I'm going to go slightly to the upside. Not going to go drastically higher here or anything like that. No, just going to aim for this territory because eventually, like I said, maybe we're going to end up in a squeeze, and then we'll just have to wait until we get a breakout. So that's why I'm only aiming this area here. Let's jump into the U.S. market. So Dow Jones Industrial Average. Okay, Dow Jones is a little bit annoying from the technical perspective. Look, it dropped and stayed below this 39,476 zone-ish, roughly. But now it's kind of trying to push back above it. And honestly, this is just annoying. And I think that it's forcing me to abandon this area and maybe just focus on something else. But look, let's put it this way: if we do climb back above this territory, back above this 39,476, then okay, I will consider maybe a move higher here, and then we'll go from there. Maybe we'll go back up here towards let me just grab a magnet. Maybe we'll go back here towards this area, the highest point of June, the current highest point of June. Again, we'll see. That's why I'm not rushing into things. I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. If you're not really comfortable with this little hurdle, what you can do is keep your eyes on yesterday's high near the 39,586. So that's basically just for today. If we do pop above this area, wonderful, I'll go to the upside. But as long as we continue to trade below that 39,476 zone, there is a good opportunity for this one to move lower, and then we will go from there. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. In terms of economic data today, well, look, we have the we have the GDP numbers coming out. So let me just put this on the chart on the screen. Sorry. So we have the where's that USA? There we go. GDP growth rate final numbers coming out. So the Q on Q is expected to decline almost. Well, actually, not almost, twice. This one, the Q growth rate, the Q on Q. Let me just double check. Anything? Is there anything else? No. Well, of course, the usual initial and continuous jobless claims, something that we're keeping an eye on. But tomorrow we have the PCE, so this is something to keep in mind because that will be a market driver. But let's see today what's going to happen with the GDP number from the U.S. And if that's going to go, let's say, much lower, then if it comes out even lower than this number, then this 1.4, this plus 1.4, then wow, I mean, look, I don't know, maybe the US dollar could fall off a little bit the cliff. The indices, it's a tricky moment with the indices. So for the US dollar, maybe that will probably be a little bit on the worse side, because if GDP comes out lower than the forecast, even, which is already on the lower side, much lower side, then this would mean that the Fed would actually have to go and cut rates in order to stimulate the economy. And that would be not very beneficial for the US dollar. So that's why we are keeping a close eye on this for now, to see how the number comes out. If for the indices, this might be actually somewhat of a positive, I think that, well, okay, again, we could see maybe an initial drop lower, but then maybe it'll stabilize and push back up. I'm just speculating on this one if the number comes out much lower. If the number comes out higher than the forecast, but still below the previous, I think that a lot of things will stay as they are, to be honest. I don't think that there's going to be much action unless the actual number comes out higher than the previous number. Now that could be interesting. But if it comes out higher than the forecast, but lower than the previous, then, like I said, I don't think that there will be movement, but not as much. I think that everybody will then wait for the PCE tomorrow. So for now, long story short, I'm leaning towards the downside. However, I think that given the news, I think we should wait on this one. Just wait until the number comes out, and then we can do something about it. S&P 500, so still holding on. Yesterday it did correct back down a little bit, but still held above that 78.6 here on my Fibonacci extension. So this one, Fibonacci extension, if you remember, on Tuesday I've drawn this one differently, and that's taken from the lowest point of April of 2024 to the highest point of May of 2024, and then to the lowest point of or actually I wouldn't say lowest point, the low of the 31st of May. So yep, and that's what we're seeing, and that's what we're getting right now here. And okay, look, we're still holding above that hurdle, so that means that maybe it's going to carry some significance, some importance. And if we do drop and stay below it, then yes, I'll slowly aim to the downside. The S&P 5, oh, sorry, the S&P, NASDAQ 100. Yesterday, NASDAQ did drift a little bit back down. However, it still remained in positive territory for the day. So, in general, NASDAQ was the winner yesterday among the top three: the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. So yes, NASDAQ remained in well in positive territory. But let's see if this yeah, this one was kind of on the modest side. Look, I talked about Nvidia yesterday, and I said to you, we have the situation here where we are getting a hold up, and we have this little barrier, this 120, let's round it up here, 27 is providing good resistance. So if that gets cleared, then yes, wonderful, I will go to the upside. If it holds, then there is a chance for this one to drift back down again. So something like this. Now, let's see if that's going to be the case. For now, it's like I said, yes, it's somewhat of a bearish indication because we're seeing that this hurdle is providing very nice resistance. This Fibonacci, I mean, yesterday I talked about it, and I said that it's like maybe it should be drawn this way or maybe that way. It's kind of not very exciting. You know what? I think that let's get rid of it for now. Maybe I'll come back to it later when it's a little bit more clear. But at this point, I think this is more clear, and I think we should just kind of stick to it. Long story short, for now, I am leaning towards the downside. And yeah, as long as we remain below this 127 zone, if we pop and stay above it, then okay, I'll consider a move higher. The German index DAX, this one is struggling. It is struggling with that 45-day EMA. Look, for a couple of days now, it has been like breaking this one, breaking through it, but it's struggling to remain above it. Now, what's next? Basically, I would say that if you're looking for some higher levels, then wait for this one. There is still an opportunity to go higher. And wait for this one to pop back above the 45-day EMA. If that can get cleared, wonderful. I will go towards the upside and I'll aim for this downside line taken from the high of the 26th of May. That's my scenario for the upside. That's it. For the downside, I know that there could be maybe a bit of a retracement back down here, maybe, but you know what? I think I will take it simple and I'll take a very simplistic approach, and I'll wait for a break of this upside line here, taken from the low of the 7th of March. And if that gets cleared, we could at the same time clear the 100-day EMA and lean towards the downside then. So yes, for now, that's what I'm gonna do, and yeah, nothing else. I know it's a little bit of a tricky one with the German DAX here. It's kind of a flat one for the week. Look, the only thing that could shift it a little bit is the GDP number, are the GDP and the PC numbers from the US, because then if there could be a reaction in there, we could see some action in other indices like the European indices. But I'm not excluding a possibility where we could see, let's say today, the index, let's say the US, moving in one direction, but then the PC comes out and it kind of forces it to move back the other direction. And this way we could stabilize and just end the week in at flat. And this is, I think, maybe something that the market would like to see. I'm judging from DAX here, and it seems like we're forming something of a doji here. And maybe that's how we will end this week. I'm not sure. Like I said, it depends on the US numbers as well, or should I say the US reaction. But again, for now, if you're not comfortable with this, honestly, I suggest not to touch this one, because look, I will say this again, in a simplistic form, that if we start pushing back above the 45-day EMA and this in 18,400 zone, then yes, great, I will consider a move towards this downside line. The FTSE 100. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, beautiful kind of rebound from this upside line. That's fine, but still nowhere near my gateway towards higher levels. And my gateway towards higher levels is around here, around this 8,355.73 levels. And then yes, if that gets cleared, wonderful. I will go higher. For the downside, I need to see a break of this upside line. Then I'll get more comfortable with the downside. US dollar index to the final index here, and there we go. Look at this. Look at how well this is holding on to this barrier. Not the one that I'm expanding right now, no, but this one on top. It's 105.64 zone. So far, doing a good job. So, yep, that's great. This arrow worked out. So, time to readjust it, and I think that that's what I'm going to do here. If we clear it and we stay this above this upper side here of this kind of range, then yes, I will go towards the 106.338 zone, roughly around here. For the downside, I need to see a drop somewhere below this 104.86. I know that maybe this is a little bit too much, but maybe we could start looking at some lower levels already from the 45-day EMA, and then we could just kind of take it from there. Jumping into gold. Gold drifted lower. Yes, of course, US dollar here strengthened yesterday, and didn't the gold bulls didn't really like that. So we saw a nice, beautiful decline, which is fine, which is in line with expectations, because what I said to you, that if we do drop and stay below the 2,317 zone right there, I will go lower. And so far, so good. 2,300, that's where we're resting right now. Slightly below that, we do have the 2,286 zone-ish, near the lowest point of June, the current lowest point of June. Look, we still have 2 days left of trading in June. So let's see if we're going to create a new low for June. Looking at this candle, the monthly candle, I mean, this is looking a little bit bearish. I want to say that let's let's start examining lower levels, but I don't want to rush into things yet. I just want to keep it short and simple. But if it starts clearing the 2,286 zone, excuse me. Oh, I didn't have a good sleep. And if we do start clearing that area, if that 2,286, then wonderful. This will confirm a forthcoming lower low and potentially could attract more sellers into the game. So now then, jumping into silver. Silver is also at a very interesting spot here, and it's near that 28.65 area. I talked about it. I said to you that I need to see some clearance here, and if we can get that clearance, wonderful. I'll go towards the 100-day EMA initially and this downside support line, and then we'll just take it from there. So honestly, that's a pretty simplistic approach here on silver. For the upside, I would like to see, now this is what I talked about previously, the psychological $30 mark. That's still kind of valid, but we could already start looking at some higher levels if we do push back above the 29.66 yes, 29.66 zone, then yes, I will consider a move to the upside. Palladium, very quickly on Palladium, drifting lower after a good move here to the upside to test the 200-day EMA. That's fine. And then we drifted back down now. So question is, can we go even lower here? Look, I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna keep an eye on this little upside line. It's a tentative one, I get it, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see what's gonna happen next. Will we like move down and test this upside line and then rebound and push back up? Look, I don't want to say anything yet. I will for now keep an eye on this. And yes, for now, I'm just gonna maybe consider something else, like here, maybe like this. Again, maybe this is I'm trying to see something where it's not, so that's why let's not overcomplicate. I think this should stay here. So yes, I think maybe this is the better way, the better downside line to consider. I think that yes, if you're looking for some higher levels, then just basically wait for a breakout here. For now, we are getting into maybe a bit of a squeeze. Look, it's not a problem. I still like this because I like the monthly chart here. As you can see, we are near key support zone, near this 833 zone, which we last time tested back in 2018. And we did decline quite significantly. And looking at our MACD on the monthly, it's starting to slowly kind of curve up. Let's see if the upside momentum will come in. Yeah, but at the moment, it's look. Maybe this is a good opportunity for people to pile up. Let's see, but it might bounce around here in the short run. It might bounce around here a little bit, and then we'll have to just wait and see. Jumping into copper very quickly. This one continues to slide. Fantastic. Great move. So I'm gonna stick to the downside. I'm just gonna aim for that 200-day EMA together with that 4.23 zone, unless it starts pushing back above this hurdle, this 4.44 zone. If it does that, great. I will consider a move higher. If we then I will consider some of these levels here, which could be in the way. But yeah, let's not rush into things for now. Let's just keep it short and simple. And for now, I'm leaning towards the downside. Jumping into oil very quickly. Oil is stuck. Oil found good resistance. Look at this. I have drawn this one just out of fun, honestly. Last week I said, look, I have this upside resistance line, which could be a good interesting one, and yeah, it was an interesting one. It held nicely. It held provided good resistance. So now the question is, what's going to happen next? Well, next, I think that while we remain in this zone, I'm just going to remain cautiously bullish, just probably even more towards the neutral side. For me to start looking at some higher levels, at least a push above the current highest point of June would be required. This 81.9 zone, roughly ish. If that gets cleared, yes, I will go to the upside. For the downside, I would like to see a drop below the 80.10 zone here. And if we can get that move, that's wonderful. More sellers here could join in. Natural gas, let's jump into that one very quickly. So it's stuck, and we're in this range here. So for now, the game plan is still the same. I will continue monitoring the price action here. I mean, as long as we remain inside of this little range. Once we start clearing one of the sides, great, wonderful. I will consider a move out of this one. So for now, yeah, just observing the price action. Cotton, very quickly. Cotton, good move yesterday, pushed higher. Look, I said to you, and I'm gonna keep on saying, and I'm probably gonna keep on mentioning this one every webinar, because look, I do love to look at these exotic pairs and commodities and indices, because they do present themselves with nice opportunities. And this one seems to be forming something of a falling wedge pattern, which according to all the TA rules tends to break to the upside. But again, a confirmation breakout is still needed, because while we remain inside the pattern, we could still drift lower. So, that's what I'm saying. So yes, that's what I'm gonna for now keep an eye on. Yes, I'm cautiously bullish, but I need that confirmation break above that, somewhere above that 76 zone. Soybeans, beautiful. There we go. Finally exited the 1,155. I kept on talking about this one since last week, and I said we're stuck in between these two levels. And there we go. We dropped, and we tested this upside line. We're currently flirting with it, and let's see if we're gonna stay below it. And yeah, if we do, then my next target is the 1131, 1124 zone right here, and then we'll just take it from there. Wheat is at an interesting spot here as well, and yep, um for now I am looking at this, and so far so good. For now I am just gonna continue targeting the downside. My next levels are the 535, 28, 23, somewhere around here basically, and then we'll take it from there. Let's jump into the crypto world, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is, yes, it's not very positive. It's not very positive because I said to you, look, we now have a downside line taken from the high of the 7th of June. We rebounded somewhat from that 200-day EMA, which is fine, but I will prefer to wait for a clearance now. At this point, I think that it's better to either wait for a break of this downside line and then consider slightly higher levels, maybe not all the way here, but slightly higher levels, something like this at least. If we do clear this 57,800 zone somewhere around here, then yes, I will get very excited with the downside. Why? Because we would also be placed below the 200-day EMA, and potentially this could attract a few more sellers. Bitcoin Cash also struggling with this barrier, the 400 zone. Look, the downside scenario is not off the table. I think that there could be some more downside, yes, but for now, what can I say? I'm waiting for a clearance here. I'm waiting for a clearance through either this 400 zone or the 348 area. If one of those sides get broken, then wonderful. I will consider the next short term, very, very short term directional move. Either towards this 297 zone for the downside, or this downside line for the upside. Ethereum, very quickly. Ethereum, okay, look, it's still struggling to move lower, although it has all the intentions and all the possibilities to go lower, but it's still struggling. I'm not saying this is the point where it doesn't look very, say, that it's like the bulls are, strong still. No, this is something else. I think that we're not dropping or something because of some event that we're waiting for. Just bear with me one moment. I have to occasionally warm up my throat, so apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. With the issue here is that there is still potential for the downside, but we're stuck. So look, if I'll probably put it in a simple form, if once again we drop below the 100-day EMA, then yes, great, I will go lower, and I will go towards this upside line and this 3,215 zone. But then I'll have to just reevaluate things. In general, as you can see, or as you can hear from the tone of my voice, that I'm not really very excited with Ethereum. Unlike with Litecoin, Litecoin is a little bit more interesting for me here. Now this one, the fact that we pushed back above the 70.54 territory and we're still holding above it, then that's kind of giving me an indication that yes, the bulls are fighting. Now, are we still below the downside line? Yes. So any move higher could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. So just keep that in mind. If we straight away start falling back below the 70.54 zone right here, I will consider another move towards that 67.29 zone here, or maybe this 63.14. We'll see. Okay, so the forex world, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the Australian dollar is trying to make its way back up here, and okay, look. For now, I am still watching this downside line. The reason why I'm watching all this is becoming quite interesting, not because of the Australian dollar. Australian dollar did its stuff already. It's the US dollar, because if that one's going to devaluate, we could see a beautiful pop here on AUD USD. could see a beautiful pop. We could see a push towards that 0.6714 zone, and then we'll take it from there. But if it strengthens, then look, a break through this upside line and a drop below the 0.6626 zone here, below that 45-day EMA, yep, could do the trick for a few more sellers, and then we'll just take it from there. So, but for now, observing carefully this, let's see if this is going to break or not, but if it can break, then yes, we could see some lower levels. But long story short, waiting for a breakout. AUD and ZD, fantastic, mission accomplished. We have reached my target. I talked about this from the beginning of this week. Fantastic, great. I said to you that my next targets will be these here, the 1.094950, basically the 50 zone. Tick, wonderful. I can retire. Good result here, good pop here. Look, in general, AUD USD is one of my favorite ones. It's the very technical pair. So now the question is, can we go further north? Well, this is a good question, but I don't know. I just want to see what's going to happen here next. Will we get a hold up? Will we get something like a bouncy moment here back and forth? So yeah, for now, I'm just observing this action here, and then we'll just take it from there. AUD JPY continues to push higher. 107 zone is the one that got reached already today, so it wasn't able to do it yesterday. Today it reached, so fantastic. 107 is the one that I was talking about. Now the question is, look, in general, AUD JPY is that risk on, risk off monitor. So as we can see right now, the indices are pushing higher, and AUD JPY is also pushing nicely to the upside. Once the indices start reversing back down, or maybe on the contrary, if AUD JPY starts reversing first, then we might see that maybe the indices could drift lower again. Why? Because look, everybody would be jumping into the yen. At the moment, everybody's kind of jumping out of it, jumping into more risky pairs. Like AUD, but hey, look, in general, I think that for now, the next target here could be that 108, and that's what I'm going to do in a way. I'm going to aim for that 108, 109, 110. Let me just jump into TradingView's chart very quickly. I think it has more history. Yes, so basically, this is what I'm looking at. I've talked about this before. That's what I'm going to aim for, this 107.87-ish zone. This is a very strong area of resistance, tested back in 2007. Look what happened. Look what happened after that. Did we get a financial crisis? Yes, we did. So we are approaching this area again. The question is, will we repeat history, or will we actually just, you know what? Too obvious. Let's just go here. This 124 now. I don't know if this is quite logical to aim for this for now. I mean, at the moment, I think it's just easier to aim for this 107.87, because look, if that holds and we get something in the market, then yep, we could see a nice, beautiful reversal back down. In general, we are due for a reversal because for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row, we have seen this one pushing higher. Last time when we had 6 months in a row, we had a bit of a corrective move. Next one, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. We had oh, we're repeating history here. Look at this. Again, the same story, as if, like, you know, started. Okay, this one started in January. Now we're in June. We're just by 1 month, almost skewed by 1 month. So then the next month we had that was in August. Maybe July will be a good month. So look, for now, I'm very curious what's going to happen here. Will we test the 107.87 here this month, or should I say by the end of this week, or will we leave it for next month? It's a good, valid question. I think that we need to be very careful right now with this one, and I think that this might present some opportunities, but be sure to keep an eye on it. Jumping into CHF JPY very quickly, still beautiful hold up near this 179 zone. So yes, we are struggling with that area, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I said to you that I'm going to go higher if we get a nice clearance of that one and we stay above it. We cleared it. We didn't stay. That's absolutely fine. Maybe today. Maybe this will go, more to the upside. US dollar against the Mexican peso. US dollar against the Mexican peso is pushing back up here. It's trying to climb back again. Look, after the election, this is the rally we saw, because everybody was kind of afraid that the printing machine in Mexico will start again. Look, for now, I would say keep your eyes on it. If we do start pushing back above this 18.50 zone, somewhere around here, and we stay above it, then yes, I will go higher. For the downside, I would like to see a drop below the 17.86 area, somewhere around here, and then we could take it from there. US dollar against the Japanese yen. This one is quite interesting as well, because we cleared the key resistance barrier here, the 160 zone. We stayed above it, and well. Now, I mean, I'm gonna continue targeting the upside in a way. For this one, let me just jump into with something with more history. USD JPY here. Where's that ICE? There we go. So as you can see, we are near a key area of resistance. My question is, will we stay above this key area of resistance by the end of this week? If we can, yes, I will go further north. If we cannot, well, of course, if we stay above it, then the 165 comes in nicely here. So somewhere around here. This 165 is a beautiful number. Could be tested, but the Bank of Japan, I don't know how much more it will allow its currency to devaluate, because it's becoming very expensive for Japanese people. And yes, something will have to be done. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Great. Japan enjoyed the moment of bigger tourism, tourism inflow. Their trade balance, they managed to improve their trade balance because of the cheaper currency, and it was cheaper for other countries to buy in Japan. So, okay, great. That's, it still can be the case, but you should not allow your currency to devalue that much. We'll see what's going to happen. Look, it could run its natural course as well, because if the markets, if indices start reversing sharply to the downside, then everybody will start jumping into the yen. One of the options. And then we could see these pairs, beautifully drifting lower. But again, let's not rush into things yet. For now, there is still potential for this one to go higher, and I think that the 165 is becoming quite an interesting area if we continue to trade above that 160 zone. USD CHF very quickly. So yes, pushing up, and in a way we almost reached my targets already. My target is here, this 0.90 zone. I'm still gonna aim for it, and then yeah, we'll just go from there. If it clears it, fantastic. Slowly to the upside, no major rush. And then yes, we could aim for this one here, but hey, not really rushing into anything here yet. So for now, that's the game plan. Let's see how this is gonna play out. US dollar against the Canadian dollar. There we go. We pushed beautifully back to the upside. And we are currently testing this downside line, or actually close to this downside line. Look, USD CAD is a tricky one. Oil did correct back down, and there we go. You can see USD CAD pushing back up. Let's keep an eye on oil, actually. Of course, let's keep an eye on what's going to happen with the GDP, and tomorrow with the PCE numbers. But today also, if the GDP is not going to make a move, keep your eyes on oil. Maybe that could, establish, or give a better, more clear indication where this pair could go. At the moment, I'm stuck. Honestly, I think that I'm just gonna keep an eye on this downside line. If we clear it, I'll go higher. I'll go higher towards the highest point of June, or should I say the current highest point of June. But hey, anything can happen. Of course, this 1.3791 zone is the one to watch for now. That's the current highest point of June, and yeah, we'll go from there. JBP JPY. GBP JPY is an also pushing slowly to the upside, like with other JPY pairs. This one, yes, for now continues to drift higher, and so far so good. The 204 zone is my next target. Then I'll aim for the 205, and so on and so on. GBP USD, also very important to watch what's going to happen here, because look, we're currently resting on the 200-day EMA on slightly above this 1.2622 zone. So if we do clear the 200-day EMA, then yes, wonderful. More sellers here could join in. For the upside, I would like to see a push above the 1.2740 zone right here, and then yes, maybe from here to consider higher levels. The only thing is, I do understand maybe actually I should lower it down. I think that maybe this is the barrier. The 1.27 zone is the one to watch if you're looking for some higher levels. Euro NZD, ladies and gentlemen. Haven't looked at this one for quite a while, as you can see by the skewed arrows here. Let me remove everything and start fresh. We are, why I wanted to pick up on this one, because we are near key support zone. So this here is quite interesting, because look, some of you might say, hey, what about a range? I wouldn't say that this is very good range, because we keep on forming these lower highs. We're now just struggling to form a lower low. I think that, yes, it's going to be quite logical to say that this is the barrier to watch for now. This 1.7384 or 1.7383 zone. If we can clear this one, then yes, great, I will go lower. So this is something that I'm going to be watching here. This, yes, if we clear this zone, then my next target is around here. Near this 1.7168 area, and then we'll take it from there. For now, long story short, if you're looking for some higher levels, then I think that the better option is to wait, take a pause, and wait until we climb above all my EMAs here: the 45-day, the 100, and the 200-day EMA. And finally, Euro USD. So this one is slowly grinding lower, because I think that it's afraid that we will, because of the upcoming elections, which are the first round in France is going to be on the 30th of June. July is going to be July 7th is going to be the second round. In between those two rounds, we'll have the UK election. So yeah, for now, I would say it's still quite bearish, and I'm gonna, if we do clear this 1.0667 area, my next target is this upside line taken from the low of the 21st of November of 2022. Good potential upside, good potential target, but I know that it's not a lot of territory here. But look, it's for now, let's just aim for that one, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll rebound something like, we'll have something like this, but maybe this could play out nicely. But at this point, I'm still leaning towards the downside, but only up until here, up until this upside line. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this session. I tried to make it quicker today because, look, I'm going to slowly start making this maybe a little bit shorter. Maybe not everybody's like interested in, sitting through the whole hour. But look, I still have to deliver the information. Sometimes there is a lot to deliver, and I do want to explain why I'm looking at certain things this way or that way. I need to kind of back myself up why I'm thinking it this way, that way. So yes, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but hopefully you enjoyed the session. Like I said, if you can always scroll through to the part which you want to look at when you're watching this as a recorded session. Because I always look at first indices, then commodities, then cryptos, and then currencies. So you can always, jump around this way. So, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, either way, thank you very much. Mohammed, once again, thank you very much for the good morning in the chat room. I really appreciate that. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I shall see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock GMT time. So yes, keep your eyes today on the data, and we'll go. Yes, I will go from there, and I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place. Risk only what you can afford to lose. Don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.